Zombie Apocalypse.
What's going on YouTube? This is 6 Scale Economist. In today's video, we're actually going to be switching up a little bit, taking a break a little bit from the Star Wars figure, and we are going to be talking about the Hot Toys Marvel Captain America from Endgame. And so, I know that I primarily, review Star Wars toys, as that is, mainly where my focus is and, where my passion is. I do also very much enjoy the Marvel movies, especially, Infinity War and Endgame, and so I do have quite a bit of Marvel figures in my collection, and I was excited to talk about this one. So, as always, we're first going to talk about this figure from a collection standpoint, and then we're going to talk about it from an investment standpoint. So, just taking a look at this figure, a lot of people were very highly anticipated of this Captain America as the single Captain America. If you're going to have one in your collection, it should be this one. And just taking a run through the images, I think I would have to agree. So obviously you get the great head sculpt with the mask that we've seen. You get the shield, and we're going to see in a few photos you get the shield also broken after Thanos is fighting with it, has good weathering on it. One gripe that I do have about this figure, that I've seen other people talk about, is the shoulders are just a little too broad for me. I get that given how ripped Chris Evans is in real life, that probably is accurate, but we saw the Captain America concept figure, and I thought that was the best body shape for Captain America. So I was a little bummed that they didn't go with that again for this one, but that's still what is this I'm not going to say that it's a negligible flaw of the figure, but it is something that's not totally just going to break the bank for me. Make me not want to pick up this figure. I personally don't have a Captain America in my collection. I've been holding out for this one, and while I was a little bit disappointed about the body shape, it's still good enough that this is going to be the Captain America that I will pick up and be the one that I use for my display. Chris Evans head sculpt, it's good. It's not totally perfect, but it's definitely It's good. It's good enough. Not enough to send me home. Some other head sculpts. It's just not. It's not totally perfect, but it's kind of the same thing. This head sculpt reminds me a lot of the Obi-Wan head sculpt from Revenge of the Sith. It's not totally perfect. There's something about it that you just know it just looks slightly off. But if you get it from a certain angle and whatnot, it looks good enough. And so it's not something to make me not want the figure. Obviously, very big selling point for the figure. You get Thor's hammer, which is fantastic. Obviously, you have to do some type of pose like this, holding the shield and the hammer. Such a great scene for such an awesome movie. And obviously you get the broken shield, and I know I'm aware that this is not totally screen accurate, but that's not enough to really bug me. I think that bugs other collectors more than it bugs me. I'm just I probably wouldn't even have noticed, honestly, if other collectors didn't point it out. And you get the different face things that you can just swap in, we've seen this before, the magnetic one. So you can get him showing his teeth, showing he just got his braces off, or you can show him in different ones. I'm probably gonna display him with the helmet on, but it's nice to have that optionality. And you get this. This picture of his lady, way too small, and a lot of people have talked about that. We haven't seen the final images for this figure yet. Lord only knows when this figure is actually going to come out. I feel it's been forever that we have been seeing these images of these Endgame figures. I guess it's kind of supportive to see that we got Rocket out, but hopefully they just fix this issue. This should be way bigger. I don't know why it's so small. But yeah, so it's just taking a look at everything that he comes with. He comes with the typical display base. I think it's cool that it's the red and blue and whatnot. I kind of wish there was a bigger display base. I don't know why Marvel does these smaller ones, but Star Wars has those bigger rectangular ones. I definitely prefer the Star Wars ones, but nothing too nothing too crazy in terms of a con. You can have him holding his helmet thing, which is great. His mask. Selling point for me is definitely going to be the hammer and the broken shield. Comes with the head sculpt. This figure is really comes everything that you would really ask for in this figure. The $274 price, I was kind of surprised by this. I would love to hear what other people think about that price point, but I would have thought, given that we're not getting a dynamic display base and we're not getting a major accessory, I thought that this price point was a little high, it's definitely not enough to like deter me. Like, you are getting a lot with this figure. Like, you're getting 2 head sculpts, you're getting like multiple accessories. Like, you're getting a broken shield, you're getting a put together shield, you're getting Thor's hammer. Like, you are getting a lot with this figure. So like, from a value perspective, like, it's fair. I think they could have gotten away with charging $255. I think they could have gotten away with like charging like $265, which I guess like that's not a price point they usually use. But at $274, it's a little bit higher on the retail side, but nothing to deter me. And I don't have a Captain America in my head sculpt, but I'm glad that I'm holding out for this one, and this will be the one that I purchase to have as part of my collection. Cool. And then like, let's just segue this right into like an investment perspective. Marvel Hot Toys are tricky right now. Obviously everybody knows like we don't have the movies out right now, and like we're still waiting for like the next phase like movies to start, and like we don't know who's going to be in it, and like who's like not going to be like a major character in it. And like, this has had like a material impact on Marvel figures in the secondary market. There was one specifically that I wanted to point out to try and highlight this. Sorry, I know I usually have these up before. 46. So like, even like this figure, honestly, this figure actually has like come back a bit. But for a while, the Marvel Hot Toys like Mark 46 Iron Man was selling in like the 700 to like, it pushed like 750 mark. It's come down a bit. Recently we've seen it like come down to like the 600-ish mark, like especially in like Facebook groups. Like, there was a time period like 2 months ago when like Marvel was still like really hot, and Star Wars was like still like really pushing into like, you know, with the release of like Clone Wars and everything, like really catapulting into the stratosphere, that some of these Marvel Hot Toys started to like come down in value. But like 2 or 3 months ago, like this figure, if you posted this figure for $700 in the Facebook group, scooped, it was gone. It was selling all day for like $850 on eBay. It's come down a bit. Now it's like, it's actually trickled back up again, which is like pretty supportive for, you know, Marvel Hot Toys. I'm glad to like see this. Like, it's always obviously very healthy to have a strong secondary market. And so like, now it's like selling, you know, this one sold for like $666, like, it's back up to like the 650-ish area, but like 2 months ago this would have been gone so much quick. 2 months ago this would have been $850 that this auction would have gone for. So like, it is important to recognize from an investment perspective that Marvel does not have the spotlight right now, and the focus is all in Star Wars, and that's what's hot, and those are the figures that are really, you know, jumping up in price. But with that being said, this isn't a figure that you're probably going to take a wash on. I'm excited to see what like what this figure looks like in hand. But like, for a lot of people, like Captain Americas have generally done like pretty well for the most part. Some are hit or miss. Like the concept art black suit Captain America did not do well. And there's a lot more variance when it comes to Marvel Hot Toys in general. Star Wars Hot Toys generally are like very predictable, and like just so much demand that it's, you know, very easy to pick the winners, I think. But with Marvel Hot Toys, it's a little bit more iffy, and they also are a lot more volatile. Like, take for example the Spider-Man from like Homecoming, the deluxe one that comes with like the jacket. That figure like a month and a half ago was selling for like $450, $500, $550 sometimes on eBay, like anywhere from like $425 to $500 on eBay, on Facebook groups all the time. And now, like, I don't know what happened with that figure, but that figure will sit for a couple of days in a Facebook group at like $325, $350 brand new, which is something that just would not have happened before. And I think it just also does speak evidence to Marvel not being in the spotlight, and a lot of people like moving out of a lot of their Marvel collection and into Star Wars. So that's important to keep in mind with this Captain America. And given that we don't have a clear trajectory on where like the MCU is going, it's important to tread with caution with all these Endgame figures that are out and decide like which ones you want to pick up. But with that being said, I already pre-ordered this figure. This figure was definitely like a buy for me, and I think that although there are going to be some lemons in like the Marvel Endgame like line, this is not one of them, and this one I think you're very safe to pick up, both from an investment perspective and a collector's perspective. But that's just my opinion. Always happy to hear everybody's feedback in the comment section. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. This is 6 Scale Economist, and we'll see you in the next video.